In a quiet little neighborhood where the streets curved like soft smiles and the trees whispered gently when the wind passed by, there lived a young boy named Sammy. He was 5 years old, with a soft round face and warm light-tan skin that glowed in the morning sunlight. His short, wavy light brown hair always looked a bit fluffy, as though it had just been tousled by a friendly breeze. His big hazel eyes carried a gentle curiosity, the kind of eyes that looked at the world as though it was full of stories waiting to be discovered. Sammy wore his favorite soft yellow t-shirt and light blue denim overalls nearly every day, because to him they felt like home. Sammy lived with his grandpa. Grandpa was 65, with kind eyes behind thin round glasses and a gentle smile that made anyone near him feel safe. His short gray hair and neatly trimmed beard made him look warm and thoughtful, almost like someone who always knew the right thing to say. He often wore a cozy forest green cardigan over a cream shirt, and when he wrapped Sammy in a hug, it felt like stepping into a soft blanket just taken out of the dryer, warm, familiar, and full of love. Their home was small but filled with warmth. The walls were painted soft colors, and light filters through the windows in the morning, making golden shapes on the wooden floor. In the evenings, gentle lamps glowed like little suns, and everything seemed to sigh in comfort. One gentle morning, the kind where the sun rose slow and golden, Sammy was playing near the window where the warm light poured through. He sat on the living room rug with his toys scattered around him. A small wooden car, a fabric bunny with floppy ears, and a few colorful blocks that clicked together. He hummed softly as he played, making up little stories for his toys. Stories about kindness and exploring and sharing. Stories that mirrored the world Grandpa had taught him to see. Grandpa was in the kitchen, humming a familiar tune while stirring oatmeal in a big cream-colored pot. The smell of cinnamon and vanilla drifted through the air, wrapping around Sammy like a soft cloud. Everything felt quiet and peaceful. Sammy smiled without even realizing he was smiling. "Sammy," Grandpa called in his warm voice. "Breakfast is almost ready, sweetheart. Wash your hands and come to the table." Sammy nodded happily and set down his toys. He liked mornings like these. They felt slow and safe. He skipped toward the sink, humming the same song Grandpa was humming. But then a moment came, small, quick, and almost insignificant, that changed the shape of their morning. When Sammy reached the table, he saw that Grandpa had put out 2 bowls of oatmeal. One plain, one with strawberries on top. Sammy loved strawberries. They were his favorite. He looked closely, and his heart dipped when he realized the bowl with strawberries was in front of Grandpa's seat, not his. He didn't mean to feel upset. It just sort of bubbled up, like when you shake a soda can without realizing it. "Grandpa," he said in a small voice, "that one is mine. I always have strawberries." Grandpa looked at him gently. "Oh, I know, sweetheart. I thought we could share today. I put some strawberries in a little bowl here. See, you can add as many as you like." But Sammy didn't look at the little bowl. He only saw the big bowl, the one he thought should have been his. Something tightened in his chest. Something prickly. Without thinking, without slowing, and without breathing the way Grandpa always taught him to when feelings felt big, Sammy said the words that came too fast. "You don't care about me." The room became still. Not dramatic. Not loud. Just quiet. Grandpa didn't look angry. He didn't frown. His warm eyes didn't turn cold. Instead, they softened in a way Sammy didn't understand. A gentle hurt. A quiet sadness. He looked down just for a moment, then nodded slowly. "I'm sorry you feel that way," Grandpa said softly. "Let's eat breakfast, okay?" Sammy sat down. The oatmeal tasted like nothing. Grandpa talked a little, but softly, slower than usual. He didn't hum anymore. He didn't tell one of his silly morning jokes. Sammy wondered if maybe Grandpa had turned smaller somehow. Not on the outside, but somewhere in his heart. Sammy didn't like this feeling. It stretched inside him like a long, quiet hallway, and he didn't know what to do about it. After breakfast, Grandpa went to water the little potted plants near the window, and Sammy went back to his toys. He placed the wooden car down, then picked it up, then set it down again. Nothing felt the same. The golden light didn't feel warm anymore. It just felt bright. He looked at Grandpa, who was kneeling near the plants, watering each one carefully. He always spoke to them softly, as if he believed everything could feel love, even small green leaves. Sammy hugged his knees. He didn't want Grandpa to be sad. He didn't mean what he said. His chest felt heavy, like clouds made of stone. Sammy stood up quietly and walked to Grandpa, but when he got close, he didn't know what to do next. The apology in his heart felt too big and too tangled to say, so he just stood there, small and unsure. Grandpa looked up with soft eyes. Not angry. Never angry. "Sammy," he said gently, "are you okay?" Sammy nodded, but his voice didn't come out. Grandpa reached out and touched Sammy's cheek with the back of his hand, warm and familiar. "Sometimes," he said softly, "we say things we don't mean when we feel disappointed. It happens to everyone. What matters is what we do next." Sammy felt tears well up. He didn't want to cry. He didn't want Grandpa to think he was small or weak. But his chest said otherwise. He blinked fast, but one tear fell anyway. Grandpa wiped it away with his thumb. "You're not in trouble," he whispered. "You're learning how to be human." Sammy leaned forward and wrapped his arms around Grandpa's chest. Grandpa hugged him back. Not too tight, not too loose. The perfect warm hold that made the world feel steady again. Sammy's voice came out quiet and trembling. "I'm sorry, Grandpa." Grandpa nodded into his hair. "Thank you, sweetheart. That means a lot to me." Sammy pulled back just enough to look up at Grandpa's eyes. "I didn't mean it. I know you care about me. You care more than anybody." Grandpa smiled then, gentle and real. A smile that warmed the room again, bringing back the sunshine inside. "I know," he said, "and I care about you with my whole heart." They sat together on the soft rug. Sammy rested his head against Grandpa's chest, listening to the steady heartbeat that had always made him feel safe. Grandpa stroked his hair slowly, and the world felt gentle once more. They didn't need to talk for a while. The quiet was no longer heavy. It was peaceful. Like warm air settling in a room, like calm after soft rain. After a few minutes, Grandpa said in a slow, soothing voice, "Saying sorry is something very brave, Sammy. It means you listen to your heart. And when we say sorry, we help hearts heal." Sammy nodded against his chest. He understood now. Apologies weren't just words. They were bridges built between hearts when feelings had drifted apart. Grandpa kissed the top of his head. "I love you." "I love you too," Sammy whispered. The day went on gently. They baked banana muffins together, stirring sweetness and memories into the bowl. They played outside under soft golden light, the sun warm but never harsh. In the evening, they read books while wrapped in a cozy blanket, the lamp glowing like a small sunset beside them. When bedtime came, Sammy climbed into his soft blanket and looked at Grandpa sitting beside him. "Grandpa," he asked. "Yes, sweetheart. Thank you for teaching me how to say sorry." Grandpa brushed Sammy's hair back tenderly. "Thank you for being willing to learn." Sammy smiled softly and closed his eyes. The world felt safe. His heart felt light. And as he drifted to sleep, warm golden light faded into gentle dreams. Dreams full of love, forgiveness, and the quiet, brave strength of words said with care. And the home, small and cozy, glowed softly in the night, holding them gently, just like love always does.